Hi boys and girls, welcome back to History Lane. Here we meet some of our history's heroes through using our creative hands. Today we meet Yehudis, a heroine who saved a whole town of Jews through a brave, daring plan that involved cheese. Her story, according to one version, took place during the time of the Chanukah Story, which is the reason for the custom to eat dairy foods on Chanukah. Today we will be preparing yogurt pops, a delicious dairy treat. Here are the ingredients and supplies we will need. Frozen berries, 3.5 ounce plastic cups, popsicle sticks, 3 Ziploc bags, Greek yogurt, a cereal of your choice, we use Fruit Loops, 2 bowls, 2 spoons, and cookies of your choice. This recipe makes 4 yogurt pops. Let's begin. Measure about a 1/4 cup of frozen berries and separate them into plastic bags by color. Wash and check them, then set them aside to melt. We don't know with certainty when Yehudis lived, but we do know that the revolt of the Maccabees against the Greeks took place in the year 3621, which is 140 BCE on the secular calendar. Next, put a few cookies into a Ziploc bag. Seal the bag and use a tool such as a cup or metal spoon to gently smash the cookies into small pieces, but not so fine that they turn into powder. Set the bag aside. Once the berries are melted, carefully smash them as much as possible. So here's the story of Yehudis. She was the daughter of Yochanan the Kohen Gadol, and she lived in a town called Betulia. The city came under siege by the army of Holofernes, a cruel Syrian-Greek general. Next, measure a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt into each of the 2 bowls you have. Empty 1 bag of melted berries into each bowl. Stir them in until they are well combined with the yogurt. After some time, the Jews of the city, driven to hunger, were ready to surrender. Uzziah, the commander, agreed to this if no salvation came after 5 days. But Yehudis insisted that they put their faith in Hashem, God. She also came up with a plan. Accompanied by her maid, dressed in her best, she confidently entered the camp of Holofernes and requested to see him. She offered advice as to how he could successfully conquer the city and thus won his confidence. After a few days of going back and forth from Holofernes' camp, offering him bits of information, she came one night with cheese and strong wine, which she fed to him. Now it's time to prep the pops. Place a few Fruit Loops or whichever cereal you are using at the bottom of each plastic cup. Next, fill the majority of each cup with the fruit and yogurt mixture. You can play around with the different colored yogurts as you'd like. Do you know what happened next? Once Holofernes was completely drunk, Yehudis took his sword out of its sheath and cut off his head. She wrapped and concealed the frightful prize under some layers and brought it back to Uzziah. The Jewish army prepared a surprise attack on Holofernes' camp, and when the enemy found their headless general, they fled for their lives. Can you imagine how much courage it took for Yehudis to carry out her plan? Because of her, an entire city of Jewish people were saved. Next, sprinkle some cookie crumbs across the top of each pop. Like Yehudis, you too can act with courage. For example, you could stand up for a classmate who is being bullied or invite them to play, even if it may mean that your friends will frown and look at you funny. Take a moment to think, what type of situation in your life would require you to act with courage, and what brave actions would you take? Lastly, stick a popsicle stick straight down into the middle of each pop and freeze for at least 2 hours. Once they are ready to eat, place your hands around a cup to warm the outermost layer and pull it out. Make sure to say a bracha, a blessing, and enjoy your dairy Chanukah treat. Happy Chanukah! If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We hope to see you back again next week.